So it's the summer of 2023, and the question is, are people still moving to San Diego, California? And maybe you're in that boat too, trying to make that decision, so let's find out. Hey guys, welcome back. Or maybe this is your first time here and you like to know everything there is to know about living right here in San Diego. Make sure you tap that subscribe button below. My name is Nick, and you guys are reaching out all the time, and we absolutely love helping you out. So if you're thinking about making a move here in a week, a month, or even a year, just shoot us a text, shoot us an email, or just straight up give us a call so we can help you save a ton of time and just help you make a smooth move right here to, I guess, San Diego if you're watching this video. Now, San Diego has been a very popular place to move, especially during the pandemic. And while you do have a lot of people leaving San Diego and California, I mean, you guys probably see this all over the news and articles and things like that, you still do have a lot of people moving to San Diego, especially during the pandemic, like I was saying. And a lot of people are coming from other parts of California. They're already used to the taxes, they're used to the higher prices here. But you also have a lot of people coming from other parts of the country like Texas, Chicago, or I should say Illinois, Florida, the East Coast. So you have people really coming from all over the place, still moving here. But here is a few reasons why people were moving to San Diego. The weather. This was and still is one of the biggest reasonings on why people move here to San Diego. Our temperature here year round is nearly perfect. It's very Mediterranean-like. Our winters are very mild. Our springs we get some rain, but it's more of like a summer. But even right now, it's mid-July, and it's about 74 degrees, and I'm literally 2 blocks from the beach. So I don't think the weather can get much better than this. And I was talking to these people literally last night, and they're from Arizona, and they're spending 4 or 5 days here in San Diego, and they just couldn't believe how perfect the temperature was. They right now came from 100-degree weather in the nighttime. So I can't imagine dealing with that, but that's something you do not have to deal with when you're moving here. Prices. Now, you might think I'm a little bit crazy for saying prices were driving people here, but they honestly really were driving people here. And during the pandemic, our median home value here in San Diego was only about $600,000. Now, 3 years later, that median home value is over $900,000. So it's gone up quite a bit, but you had so many people moving here, which is why these prices have gotten so high over time. You had people moving from more expensive places like areas in the East Coast. You had a lot of people coming from other parts of California, like Los Angeles, the Bay Area, and these were more expensive markets. So San Diego was quite a little bit of a hidden gem. And now that people were able to work remote, guess where they came? I had people literally saying,
Nick, it's how much for this house? And I got room to breathe? I'll take 2 of them.
Like, they were just so ecstatic and they just couldn't wait to be here. So that was a big driver, was those prices. Next is the beaches and the water access. This was a huge driver as well, because I had a lot of people telling me they just want to be closer to the beach. Not necessarily going to the beach every day, but they wanted to be 30, maybe 40 minutes away from the beach, just to have that good climate that comes along with it and go have some great beach days. So that was a huge driver as well, because this coastline here in San Diego, if you've been here before or you visited it, you definitely know how gorgeous our beaches are. Every style of living, and what I mean by that is, depending on what your lifestyle wants, you're gonna have it here, and you're gonna have so many different options. Maybe you like to have a high-rise downtown feel. Well, you have that. You go to downtown San Diego. It's not for me, but I know a lot of you guys love that. You got restaurants and everything you could need just right at your doorstep. Or maybe you're kind of a little more laid back. You like to surf every day. You like to ride your bike down the coastline. There is so many options for coastal kind of laid back living, beach lifestyle. And you also have that rural feeling where if you want to have horses, or maybe you want to have more of a ranch style home, you're gonna have tons of options like that. Maybe not a big downtown area, a little bit slower pace of life. You're gonna have plenty of options with that as well. Now that you know a little bit about the reasons why people were moving here during the pandemic, what's changed since then? Well, first off, I already talked a little bit about this, but the prices here in San Diego have gone up dramatically. They went from a median home value of $600,000 all the way up to probably above $900,000 nowadays. So it has gotten extremely expensive here. It made it harder for people to afford a home here. But does that stop people? It really has not stopped many people. Is there less offers on homes? Yes, there is, but it is still very competitive. pretty much every single price range is going to be competitive, but I would say anything below $1 million is going to hands down be more competitive than anything over $1 million. Once you start to get to 1.5, 1.6, you'll start to see less offers on home, but anything right around that $1 million price range, don't be surprised if you're up against 2, 3, maybe 5 different people fighting for that house. Also, inventory here in San Diego has been a struggle for the past 3 years, and it hasn't gotten any easier. We've had anywhere from 2 weeks of inventory all the way up to about 2 months in the past 3 years. So it's really hasn't gone above that 2 month supply of inventory, which is the biggest metric I look at. Especially a lot of people are like, our price is gonna fall. Well, if you start to see those months supply of inventory go up to 4, 5, 6, 7 months, then you might see some prices start to fall. But besides that, if we stick right around this 2 weeks to 2 months, we're not gonna see prices really fall here. And you guys know as well as I do that people are definitely leaving San Diego. I should say California in general. A lot of people are leaving for reasons like the high cost of living, the politics, taxes, housing prices, things like that. People are definitely leaving. I wouldn't say it's a ton of people. I know I read a lot of these articles where it's like, oh, California's mass exodus. Yeah, there's people leaving California, but there is people also coming here as well. But you can see right here that a lot of people are leaving California for some of these areas like this: Las Vegas, Nevada, you got Phoenix on there, Texas, Tennessee, another Texas, you got Houston on there, Miami. So people are leaving to a lot of these places with no income tax, lower housing prices, and just some other things like that. And while there's people moving out of San Diego every single day, there still is a lot of people moving into San Diego. And as a person that helps a lot of people relocate here, I get to ask these people, what's bringing you here? And these are the main reasons that I found, not from pandemic times, but from what today is bringing people here. And I swear this comes up in every single conversation I have. It's somewhere in their list of why they're moving here. And you probably already guessed it. It's the W word. It's the weather. The weather here is always going to be a big driver. It has been. And people just want to have that normal climate where they don't have to deal with floods. They don't want to deal with any hurricanes and things like that. And I even did a quick search to really just figure out how bad is the flooding in some of these other areas where people are calling from, like Texas and Florida. And I saw just in Miami that about 52% of homes are in a high flood risk. So that's really, really high. And I think people just don't want to have to worry about that or have to deal with it, because here in San Diego, we don't have any flood risks or anything like that. We do have some high fire zones that you need to be aware of, but besides that, there's nothing catastrophic that could happen like floods that you don't have to deal with. Retiring. I'd say that maybe 2, maybe 3 out of 4 people that call me are retiring. San Diego is a spot, it's been the spot they've wanted, they've literally been dreaming about for the last 10 years. They're like, that's where I'm gonna be, I'm gonna retire there. And the thing is, they probably owned 2, maybe 3 homes throughout their life, so they now have that equity to go ahead and purchase that, million, 1.5, $2 million house here in San Diego. So retirement has been a huge driver here. They want to just enjoy a lot of the other stuff that we've already mentioned. And I will say, this kind of goes with retirement as well, but a lot of people want to be closer to their family. I hear that in a lot of these conversations too, whether it's younger people that have kids, they want to be closer to their parents that live out here, so the grandparents are around, so they move out here to be with them, or vice versa, where a lot of, parents, grandparents are moving here to be with the grandchildren or their kids, because that's pretty much what they want. That's what they want to enjoy with their life now. So those kind of go hand in hand. People can work remote, and I'm sure that's probably you right now. And I just feel like that's kind of what got everybody migrating and moving around the whole entire country once the pandemic hit, was just they weren't strapped down to an office anymore. All they needed was Zoom, or they needed a computer, or maybe they just had to go in the office, a few times a month. That's what really drove a lot of people here to San Diego, and is still driving a ton of traffic here, because people just want to live more on like a vacation mode while still working. They just need their computer. And that's a big question I always ask, is what's your commute going to be looking like? That's going to really dictate where you should live in San Diego. And a lot of people just say,
I don't have a commute. I don't have to worry about that. All I need is a home office and I'm good to go.
Sometimes I hear this too, is a lot of people have headquarters here either in San Diego, or maybe they have one somewhere in Los Angeles County. So they just have to go up there, a few times a month, or maybe not even that much, maybe a few times a year. And they can just pop up there real quick, but they're like, San Diego is where I want to kind of have my home base, so let's go ahead and find something. So that's just some of the reasons that I hear. I'm very curious. Maybe you're thinking about still moving here, or maybe you're you live here now and you're like, I'm getting out of San Diego. I'm just very curious to hear that stuff. So let me know, down below. And if you guys are thinking about making a move here, that's what me and my team are here for. We know San Diego like the back of our hand. And as much as we love making these videos for you, we love helping you with your real estate needs a little bit more. So make sure you guys reach out. Contact info is down below. And make sure you check out a couple of these videos right here, because these will probably be really helpful too.